right, today we're doing something a bit different. We're not just going to talk about programming concepts. Nope. We're going to roll up our sleeves and actually build a blueprint for your very first application together, step by step. You've totally had that light bulb moment, right? An idea for, say, a simple to-do list or a little note-taking app. But then that big question hits. Where do I even begin? Well, that's exactly the gap we're going to close today. Let's jump right in. You know, every huge journey, every awesome project, it all starts with that first single step. And for us, that first step is setting up our digital workspace and writing our very first line of code. This is the foundation, the ground floor for everything we're about to build. Okay, so this part is way simpler than you might think. First, just make a new folder anywhere you want. Then pop open your code editor and create a new file right inside that folder. Now, listen up, because this part's key. Name it with a .py extension, something like app.py. That little .py tells your computer, hey, this isn't just a text file, it's a Python program ready to go. And boom, just like that, you're all set to write some code. And believe it or not, this right here, this is your first complete, fully functional Python program. I know, it looks simple, but with this one little line, you're giving the computer a direct command. That print part is a built-in Python function. And yeah, it does exactly what it sounds like. It takes whatever you jam inside those quotes and spits it out on the screen. You are literally communicating with your machine now. And look, this is so much more than just some old tradition. Seeing Hello World appear on your screen, that's a huge moment. It's the confirmation that yes, everything is working. It's that first small victory that every single developer, and I mean every developer, has experienced. It's the proof that you can actually make this thing do what you tell it to. Okay, so our program can talk. That's awesome. But how do we make it smart? How do we get it to react to different things or do a task over and over without us telling it to each time? Well, to do that, we need to add two super important tools to our kit: conditionals and loops. These are the things that are going to turn our simple script into a real interactive application. This is it. This is how your app gets a brain and starts making decisions. With a simple if, elif, and else structure, you're creating branching paths for your code. It's basically a choose-your-own-adventure for your program. And hey, pay close attention to that indentation. Those spaces are everything in Python. They're not just there to look pretty, they literally group your code together, telling Python exactly which instructions belong to which decision. Super, super important. All right, let's talk about doing things over and over. Repetition. First up, the for loop. The best way to think of this is like a conveyor belt. You've got a list of items, say your to-do tasks, and the for loop just goes through them one by one until it hits the end. Simple. Then you've got the while loop. This one's more like a sentry on guard duty. It will just keep running its code again and again as long as some condition is true. This is absolutely perfect for something like our app's main menu, right? We want it to just keep running until the user specifically says, okay, I'm done, I want to quit. So now that we're adding all this cool logic, decision-making, repetition, our app.py file is about to get a whole lot bigger. And trust me, if we're not careful, it's going to turn into a tangled mess of spaghetti code real fast. So to keep things organized and efficient, we need a way to package up related bits of code into reusable chunks. And that, my friends, is where functions come in. They are the absolute key to building complex apps without, losing our minds. Think of a function as a recipe. Seriously, you write down the steps for, let's say, adding a new task, just one time. You use that def keyword to define it, you give it a name, and then anytime you need to add a task, you just call that recipe's name. You don't have to write out all the steps over and over again. This whole idea, don't repeat yourself, is one of the most important principles in all of programming. Okay, let's break down what a function looks like. Those things in the parentheses, those are the parameters. They're basically the ingredients you hand over to your recipe. Then, inside the function, you've got the actual instructions, the steps to follow. And finally, that return statement, that's the finished dish. It's what the function hands back to you when it's all done. It's the result, the output of the whole process. So our app is getting pretty smart, right? But it has one huge, glaring flaw. It has the memory of a goldfish. The second you close it, poof, all your tasks are gone forever. To make this app actually useful, we have to give it a memory. We need to teach it how to save everything to a file and then load it all back up again. Basically, we need to teach it how to read and write. So when you want to mess with a file in Python, you use the open function. But here's the thing. It doesn't just dump the entire file's contents into your code. That would be messy. Instead, it gives you what's called a file object. And the best way to think of this is like a remote control for that file. It's got specific buttons, right? A .read button to see what's inside, a .write button to change things. It gives you really precise control. Okay, now here's a serious pro tip. Leaving a file open after you're done with it, it's kind of like leaving your front door wide open when you leave the house. It can cause problems. Now, you could remember to close it manually every single time, but there's a much better, safer way. By using the with keyword, just like you see here, you create this temporary, safe little bubble for your file operations. As soon as your code is done, Python automatically and safely closes the file for you, even if an error happens. It is hands down the best way to handle files. So let's just quickly recap that process. Step 1, you use with open and you tell it if you want R for read or W for write. Step 2, inside that block, you do all your work, reading, writing, whatever. And step 3, there is no step 3 for you. As soon as the block is done, Python handles all the cleanup. It's a clean, super reliable 3-step process every single time. All right, this is it. This is the moment where it all clicks into place. We've gathered all of our tools, right? We've got our conditionals, our loops, our functions, and our file handling. So now let's lay out the actual blueprint and see exactly how each one of these tools helps us build a specific feature in our to-do app. Seriously, think of this table as your cheat sheet. Just look at how perfectly each concept maps to a real feature. Want to keep the main menu running? That's a job for a while loop. Need to figure out what the user chose, add or show? That's a classic if, elif, else block. Saving all those tasks to a file, we'll use file handling with write mode. And loading them back, same thing, but in read mode. What about showing every single task on the screen? Perfect job for a for loop. And finally, to keep that add task logic clean and reusable, we'll wrap it up nicely in a function. See? Every single tool has a specific, important job. And that right there, that's the main takeaway. These aren't just abstract ideas from a textbook anymore. You now have a practical, repeatable toolkit. These are the fundamental building blocks, the Lego bricks, really, for creating not just this one to-do app, but pretty much any command line application you can imagine. I mean, it could be anything. A personal journal, a simple budget tracker, a contact book. The core principles are exactly the same. You now have the blueprint. The only question is, what are you going to build first?